Hello everyone, welcome to Augury Edu tutorial. Now we're going to see how to build the Python REST APIs using Flask libraries. So REST APIs are really helpful in order to provide the services to the front-end applications like mobile apps or any other web apps or web applications. This REST APIs are really the workers of crunching the data from the database and feed the data back to the front-end apps. There are other languages too that you can build the REST APIs like C#. You can use the ASP.NET or C# frameworks, and using PHP you can build REST APIs. So there are a few other languages as well through that you can build REST APIs. Even there is one more framework called RESTAPI, in which you could build the REST APIs without even writing any single line of code. So without further ado, let's jump into the coding. So here is my Visual Studio opened. I've just created this REST API Python file to write the services APIs, and here currently I'm the base environment. I'm gonna go to the go and change the Python environment to PyTorch. I'm gonna type conda activate PyTorch to change my environment to PyTorch, and then I'm gonna pip install Flask here. I think I've already installed Flask, but if you want, you can install Flask by this. So all the requirements are already satisfied. Now let's go and import the Flask class. Before that, from Flask, let's import Flask class and then create the app by instantiating the class. And I'm going to write a simple API. For that, I'm going to first declare the function. I'm going to declare the index function first. So this is going to return text called hi. This is my this is my REST API. So it will return the string. This is my REST API, and it will get rendered in the browser page. So here we just did a simple created a simple function, index function. So this is how to change this function as a REST API controller. It's pretty easy. You just need to add the URL keyword here with this keyword app at app.root, and just inside the single quote you just add the slash. So when the base endpoint is made the request, then this that request will end up in this index controller. So it will create a response as the string and then send it back to send it back as a response to the front end app. So if you want to add more controllers, then you need to create different URL strings, and you need to create different routes and different functions for that to serve those the routes. So let's create a little more complicated controller. It's not complicated. We're just gonna add one more string. Okay, so let's say serve me controller. Okay, serve me. I'm gonna add a serve me function for that. I'm gonna add the response as a string. Response from serve me REST API. Okay, for that you're gonna add the root string. It's gonna be /serve me. Okay, or just we'll keep it serve. So with if you want to call this controller, I mean, like here we just say it as a controller. This is actually a function, but it's a REST function, so we call it as a controller. This is a terminology that we use in in building the web services. So I'm just calling it as a like serve me controller, or serve controller. So this serve controller get called when you create the request with the base string attached with this /serve string. So by doing like this, you can add more number of REST APIs, and each controllers get called based on the URL string. So yeah, that's it. We have created two controllers now, and now we will create the main function. We're gonna add the app.run. I'm gonna keep it debug is equal to true now. And I'm gonna add the IP address. And port. Sorry, I'm not IP address, host as localhost. Port as let's keep it 5000 for now. So yeah, that's it. We have finished the web service, and we have built the two REST APIs. So now we're gonna run and see how it works. So I'm just gonna hit run now. So here it's showing the service is running on HTTP local 5000. So I'm gonna click it. It'll open the browser. There you go. So here you can see, hi, this is my REST APIs. So this is the base URL. With the base URI, this index controller get called, and it got the response from here, and then it's displaying, hi, this is my REST APIs. So if you want to call the serve me REST API, just need to add serve in the URI. That's it. There you go. So response from serve me API. So yeah, so this is the basic REST APIs. We can add a little more complications in this APIs, like by adding by passing the values into the APIs. So maybe like if you wanted to get the items based on the ID, if you want to get the items from the database based on the ID, we can pass that ID, either user ID or like that item ID through the APIs. You can just merge it as a string at the end of the URI, and you can pass it and you can call it, call the server. Then the server, the controller will interpret that ID and then push it back to the database and then find the right items for you. So let's see how to do that as well. So I'm going to just copy this controller. I'm going to add one more. So I'm going to say it as a name, and then I'm going to, here we're going to pass the name ID. Okay, you can give any name here or any naming convention, whatever the way you like. It's going to be used inside this controller, and I'm going to call it as what's my name. Okay, and here inside the function, this whatever the name you gave here in the string, the same string has to be used as a parameter of this function. So this will get the ID get passed into this controller function, and then we are going to use that ID to build something for response. So if NID is equal to 1, I'm going to return my name as Bala. Else, if NID is equal to 2, then I return the string as Murugan. Else, return don't know. So this is going to serve response based on the ID which you get passed in this controller, which you pass in this controller. Okay, now we're going to run and see again. There is some problem. Okay, sorry, I'm still in the C# hangover. So here it's elif. So now if I pass the number as 1, then I'll get Bala in return as 2, and then get Morgan as return. If any other number, then I will get don't know as response. So now I'm going to run it, and here I'm going to refresh it. Yeah, it's still working. Now what I'm going to do is name /1 don't know. Okay, 2 don't know. Something wrong, or maybe is it a string to integer conversion? Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think it'll be received as a string, so I think we need the conversion here as int. So here's an advantage of running it in a debug mode. You just you can keep doing the changes. You don't need to close the application and restart. Immediately it will get reflected in your page. So it's don't know, and now I'm going to give 1. There you go. So that was the problem. So everything will be received here as a string. So if you want to convert it as a data type you wanted, so you have to do it deliberately. So I'm going to pass to Morgan 3 don't know. So yeah, that's it. So here we built the REST APIs, simple and easy. This is going to serve the front-end apps by calling these APIs with this URL strings that we've used here, and this could be useful if you're building a web app, because a web app which uses the REST APIs. But in case if you wanted to serve this APIs to return the HTML page, we can also do that. Let's see how we can send the HTML response using render template. So for that, you need to have a HTML file. So I'm going to use a simple HTML file. So I'm going to grab that HTML from the W3 schools. This is a very basic HTML template. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in the app folder. Need to create a template folder first, templates, rename it as templates, and open it, and then create a new text file and convert it as HTML. I'm going to say it as index.html. Open it in Notepad and paste the HTML text which we copied, and then I'm going to change the title as REST API tutorial. Python. Then I'm going to explain what URLs you can use. I'm going to say add /serve or maybe I can say try /serve URL, and then I'm gonna add one more, name URL with ID. So that's it. I've done the changes. Let's see how it get rendered in the browser. I'm gonna open it in the browser and see. Okay, cool. So this is what you're gonna get while the local host is loaded. So this is your index page. But where is the header? Okay, header is here. Actually, this is the header. So I'm gonna add one more text. Oh, that was the title. Okay. So I'm gonna add the header here. I'm gonna keep it as H3 so that it looks a little smaller. Let's keep the title and header as same text. There you go. There you go, it works. Now we're gonna use this. Now we're gonna get this HTML as a response when we load the base endpoint. I mean, when the index controller get called. So for that we need to add the render template from Flask library. simply replace this with render template. Index.html. That's it. So this render template function will just take the template files from the templates folder, HTML files from the templates folder, and if it finds the right match, it just send that HTML file as a HTML text as a response to the browser. So now we're gonna see our hosted service. Okay, here we've got our old service running still with update. Let's see, it should have been updated. So now if we just run this base endpoint, then it should show that HTML that we have created right now. There you go. So it got updated. So this index HTML says that what URLs you can try. There you go. There you go. So it works. So this is the way you can serve either JSON response or HTML response, anything based on the front end which you're going to call these controllers, so that like you can just separate these controllers. One could serve for the HTML front end, I mean like the browser front end, and another set of REST APIs could serve for the mobile front end or any other web app front end, which could directly take the JSON object as a response. So that's it, guys. REST APIs are really powerful, and we have built it in in less than 10 minutes, I guess. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.